How much would you pay to get an extra $100 a month of Social Security benefits? Oh, this is going to be a fun article I'm going to share with you. I'm not going to get too deep in the weeds. I just did this video once, but took too long because there's just tons of freaking awesome gravy in here. But I am going to show you that, man, just, oh, I love it. So think about it. If Social Security said we're going to give you an extra $100 a month, how much would you pay to get that extra $100 a month? All right, so let's dive into this, my friends. Oh, I love this stuff. This is from 2011. Let me just go up here real quick. All right, and we got the Financial Literacy Center working paper to consumers know how to value annuities. Complexity as a barrier to annuitization. So basically the whole thing in economics and behavioral finance psychology has been, why do people not annuitize? It doesn't make sense. I mean, they love Social Security. Social Security is a huge benefit. They love it. And people say, well, because there's no cost of living adjustment. Well, on annuity, I'm saying. Well, Social Security has a cost of living adjustment, but you took it early at 62. Why would you do that? That doesn't make sense. It's actuarially not fair to you to take Social Security at 62. It's actuarially beneficial to delay Social Security. That's not debatable. And there's a cost of living adjustment as well. So we say, well, there's no cost of living adjustment on annuity, so you take Social Security early. From an actuarial perspective, that's a bad move. It just is. They might say, well, I could get better returns in the stock market. Okay, and then you say, well, then why don't you take a variable payout that's based on stock market returns? No one does that. It's interesting. But the reason for that, Frank, is what they found. They've done some studies in Sweden and various places in the United States. They found that when annuitization is the default, people annuitize. The majority of people annuitize, take the pension essentially, as opposed to taking a lump sum of rollover. Very interesting. So when they give you defaults, they say, you're getting ready to retire. You got $1 million. You can take an annuity for $60,000 a year, or you can take a lump sum. But the default is your annuity is $60,000 a year. People do that the majority of the time, which is interesting. In fact, significant majorities of the time. On the other hand, if annuity is not the default, but the lump sum is the default, the vast majority do that. It's just can't be keep it simple, stupid. Now, what they found too is that the more familiarity you are with a guaranteed defined income, i.e. you're on a pension already or on Social Security, the more likely you are to take the annuity because you're familiar with it. Familiarity does not breed contempt here. It breeds preference. Isn't that interesting? So we're so used to building money up in a 403B, 401k or something like that. This lump sum of money, this asset, that if you're 55, 60 years old, you're about ready to retire, like, I'm just going to roll that over because I'm used to managing that. A lot of people, though, they say, I don't know those annuities because I've never had one before. But if they're already taking an annuity, Social Security or a pension plan, they're more understanding of how it works. Isn't that interesting? So going back to the Social Security thing, we have a couple different things here. How much would you be willing to pay to get an extra $100 a month in income? All right. How much would you be willing to receive to lose $100 a month of income? Two completely different entities here. I'm willing to pay X to get an extra $100 a month, or I will take a lump sum of X to reduce by $100 a month. And this is where it gets incredibly interesting. All right, so we're going to skip down to the question. I'll show you the question. By the way, this study was done by Rand Corporation, a couple of professors, one from University of Illinois, one from Dartmouth, and one from, I think it was Wharton, University of Pennsylvania. So it's not just some financial guy selling insurance products. Interesting. So here's the question. In this question, we're going to ask you to make a choice between two money amounts. Please click on the option you would prefer. Suppose Social Security gave you a choice between A, receiving your expected Social Security benefit of whatever, so you continue to receive your benefit of whatever, or B, receiving a Social Security benefit reduced by $100 a month and also receiving a one-time payout, a one-time lump sum. All right, so again, you're going to keep your current benefit, or you could get a reduced benefit, in this case $100 a month, in that they're going to pay you a lump sum of X amount of dollars. How much would you need that X amount of dollars, a lump sum, for Social Security to reduce your benefit by $100? Right. And then we're going to do the corollary of that. Would you like to keep your current benefit, Or would you like to increase your Social Security? How much would you pay to increase your Social Security benefit by $100 a month? I hope you're getting the gist here. It's two completely competing entities here. So let's see what the results are. This is the first one. We're going to reduce our Social Security benefit, and we're going to receive a lump sum of X amount of dollars to reduce our Social Security benefit by $100 a month. Does that make sense? So the Social Security Administration is going to pay you a lump sum in order for you to reduce your benefit by $100 a month. All right, let's see. Given our bracketing of responses, what we observe is both an upper and lower bound of the annuity value for each respondent. And the figure plots, okay. The median lower bound represents a valuation of about $17,500 for a $100 a month reduction in Social Security. All right, so remember, the median, 50% have higher, 50% have more, says you would have to pay me Social Security $17,500 in order to reduce my monthly payments by $100 a month. The median upper bound is $20,000. So the median valuation, essentially in this case, the midpoint is $18,750. So again, let me just restate this. You would say to Social Security, you want to reduce my monthly benefit by $100 a month? Okay. Give me a check for $18,750. That's actually interesting. Taking the midpoint, this median valuation is remarkably close to the actuarial fair value, all right, of an annuity at age of 62 calculated by the Social Security trustees' assumptions. So basically they're saying the median says I need $18,750. They estimate the net present value of that to be about $18,860. So we're basically spot on. So people understand if you're going to reduce my benefit, you're going to have to pay me roughly $19,000, and that's about as spot on from a pure mathematic perspective when you're calculating the average person in terms of morbidity or mortality tables and things of that nature. All right, keep going down though. All right, so that's good. People are evaluating that correctly in terms of reducing their benefit. All right. Oh, I want to see the other part. Hold on a sec. All right, so now we're going to look at what people say. I want to increase my monthly benefits by $100 a month. So people are pretty right on, spot on in terms of evaluating if they're going to reduce their monthly payment by a month. That was pretty close to being actuarially spot on. It's good stuff. On the other hand, people say, I'm willing to let go of a certain amount of money to increase my benefit by $100 a month. People are way off here. All right. The figure shows that distribution of annuity valuations from the target, essentially, is significantly below, essentially, what should be. For example, the median, let's go to the median midpoint right here. The median midpoint response in terms of how much you would take for a lump sum to get a reduction in your benefit was spot on. The response, right here. All right, the response at the other points of distribution, let's see, hold on a second. That's not what I'm trying to say. People, hold on a sec. I was right in front of my big fat face. The median response, people say, I will give Social Security $3,000 in which to increase my monthly benefit by $100 a month. I will give Social Security a sixth, of what is actuarially a fair balance. I'm supposed to give them $18,750 to reduce my benefits by $100, but they're supposed to give me $18,000 to reduce my benefits by $100 a month. But if I want to increase my benefits by $100 a month, I'm only going to pay them $3,000. That's completely irrational. You see that? $3,000 a month is the median you would give Social Security in which to increase your benefit by $100 a month. That's crazy. But yet, if Social Security were to reduce your benefit by $100 a month, you would take $18,750. That's not rational, man. You should say, to increase my benefit by $100 a month, I'll also give $18,750. That's what you should say, without question. But you don't. But I say, me too. I'm throwing myself in there. And thus, we are not valuing these annuities correctly. We're just not, man, especially when it comes to putting a lump sum in it. Now, we value it correctly when it comes to getting a payout from it, for sure, in terms of lump sum. But when you contribute the lump sum, we don't do it right. Isn't that interesting? Because cash on the side is always worth more than cash in the future. It's just that. I cannot stress it enough. I mean, look, we can say this is not rational until we're blue in the face. People are willing to be irrational if they have the money at their side liquid. It's just that simple. And look, irrationality doesn't mean stupid. It doesn't mean they don't get it. They're just saying from a pure mathematics perspective, based on the general population, you should spend $18,750 to get an extra $100 a month in Social Security. And you're like, yes, that's average, but I'm not average. I'm Josh. And everything revolves around me. And I also have a short-term time frame too. Don't forget, my short term is I might not be here 3 years from now. And as such, I'm not comfortable giving up a lump sum of money that I might not benefit for more than 3 years potentially. And there's no way you can do any kind of behavioral finance that can get around that. You can't. You could leave the annuitization as a default. That's fine. But when it comes to telling people you should do an annuity because they're like, unless the situation is spot on valuable to me that no one can debate, I'm just not going to do it. A, it's too complex. B, short term is my time frame. Long term, I worry about, like Kane said, in the long term, we're all dead. Anyway, I'd love this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. We'll see you guys.